Well, good morning, my friend, and welcome to the halfway point, day 4 of your Spark 1 Week Challenge. A few years ago, I spoke at a conference in Spokane for firefighters and fire chiefs who came from throughout the state of Washington. I thanked them for their work, their leadership, and their positive impact on the community. But I reminded them they could have never gotten to this point professionally all by themselves. They certainly had others who encouraged, who taught, who inspired, who mentored, who prodded them forward. They had parents, they had rabbis, ministers, teachers, fire instructors, first bosses, maybe even old friends who encouraged them to do, to be, and to achieve more than they likely thought was possible. So I asked them, who was it? What was his or her name? How did they inspire you? How is your life different and better because of their influence on yours? I gave them a minute to consider this and then had them share with the fire chief, the firefighter sitting closest to them. The room erupted. Men and women turned from me. They leaned into the person sitting closest with them. They shared their stories. They wiped their tears and they celebrated a great teacher, a significant mentor from the past. After a few minutes of sharing, I reminded these leaders that they just lit up, talking with a total stranger about this person. But does this person who actually had this impact on you even know? Do they realize the impact that they had on your life? I gave them a simple challenge that day. Before going to bed tonight, track down that person, write them a letter, give them a call, message them on Facebook, tell them thank you. Share with them the impact that they made on you. Do not wait. Do it today. That was my challenge. And that was that. I went on to the next part of the presentation. Then the next, I wrapped up, signed some books, hugged a bunch of big, tough, burly guys, and I flew home. Less than a week later, I got an email from a fire chief from a community south of Tacoma. He shared that he was at the event, that he was moved by the experience, and that he took the challenge. He called his first fire chief that night. They set up a date to grab coffee later in the week. At the meeting, the young man thanked his mentor for being such a great example, for his constant encouragement, and for his belief in him. They spoke for 2 hours, and in parting, the young chief looked at the grizzled veteran and said, "Thank you. I love you, and you changed my life. I just wanted you to know it." The men hugged. Both men hopped back in their respective trucks. They went back to their work. They went back to their lives. And that was that. And then 4 days later, Sunday morning, this young man received a phone call that the long-serving fire chief had had a heart attack. It happened late Saturday night, was totally unexpected. The chief had died. The email shared the pain of this loss. But more than that, it shared the joy of sharing life and work with such wonderful teachers and such a wonderful man, and the incredible gift of letting that fire chief know before his death how much he mattered, My friend, one of the heroes of my life, my grandfather, used to love the song "In the Living Years." He would roll down his windows in his old Lincoln, he'd put the tape back in, and he would blare that song and he'd sing along. It's a song about living, it's a song about loving, it's a song about sharing in a way today, right now, with such boldness, knowing tomorrow's not guaranteed. It just is not promised to any of us, and it's not promised to others either. So here is your challenge today. Spend a minute reflecting on individuals who have impacted profoundly your life. Again, my friends, they could be your parents, siblings, family members, teachers, pastors, bosses, coworkers, or neighbors. Men and women who have challenged you to wake up and to live up to the fullness of your potential. You got someone? You got a name? You got a person? You got anybody? My friend, just one person. Perfect, just one. Now, right now, call, tweet, post, text, email, send a freaking honing pigeon if that's what you got to do. Whatever it takes, but let that person know that you appreciate them. Let them know that you love them. Let them know that they mattered. This is your day to ask the question, what more can I do? And to answer, I can share gratitude with someone who set me on fire for the possibility of my life. This is your day to live inspired.